Hi, and welcome to Module 2 in the Social Media Crash Course. So last time we talked about how to sell online without feeling salesy. This time we're going to dive into where and how you can market online, specifically in social media. I'll be talking primarily about Facebook, but a lot of these principles will translate to other platforms. Then, in the next module, we'll talk about when to say stuff online. Ready to dive in? Let's go. So the first question we often need to ask is whether or not we should use a personal profile page compared to the author or business page. So in the last few years, Facebook has been intentionally limiting the reach of business pages, trying to get them to pay for exposure. When I saw that starting to happen, I focused more of my attention on my personal profile, and I advise my clients to do the same. Personal profiles get a lot more free, organic reach, so it works well. It doesn't mean you can't have an author page. Go for it. I have one, my clients have one. Just don't rely on that for your primary method of reaching people. Try to stick with the personal profile for that. So, yes, should we use ads and boosted posts? You know, in our zeal to get noticed quickly, it's tempting to take out an ad or boost a post, isn't it? Especially when Facebook so conveniently gives you a preview of your own boosted post, and it looks so good and it looks so official. Don't do it, trust me. Ads and boosted posts are good and they're effective, but only if you know what you're doing. Save that for when you have a post that's already getting excellent engagement and achieving the goal that you set for it. And then once you have a winner, go for it. Until then, it's better to steer clear. Trust me, I have wasted money on ads and boosted posts, fooling around with what I just wasn't ready for. You know, I think we trick ourselves into believing that just because the internet makes everything so instantly accessible, that finding readers and finding buyers should also be instant. But marketing doesn't work that way. As Tim Grohl says, marketing is the act of building long-lasting connections with people. It's not an instant fix. Think of it more as an experiment. Your online presence is the testing ground where you get to practice your ability to communicate effectively. It's where you discover, through trial and error, who your people are and where they are. This is a process, and processes take time. Okay, so let's talk a bit about some commonly confusing things like tags and hashtags and the etiquette of posting to other people's walls. So to tag someone is to type their name in your post. When you do that, Facebook automatically links it to their page. That means that when you publish your post, the post is automatically published to their timelines too. And this has some benefits, but as a general rule, it's not polite, and people don't generally appreciate others posting to their timeline without their permission. So, unless someone has requested it, it's better to avoid tagging people, especially in the beginning. As for hashtags, they're more of a Twitter thing. They're not used the same way on Facebook as they are on Twitter. On Twitter, hashtags are used to categorize content, so it's easier to search for. On Facebook, hashtags are more like a clever subtext. It's like a way to say something without saying it, or add humor or sarcasm or a side comment. So for example, let's say you post about how the character in your story has developed a life of his own and is trying to destroy your plot. You could include something like hashtag writer problems or hashtag not enough coffee to fix this. You know, it can be fun, but hashtags are not all that helpful on Facebook. In fact, I read an article recently that showed posts with hashtags actually got less engagement than those without hashtags. Bottom line is that hashtags are unnecessary and maybe even detrimental, and that tagging someone in your posts is something to avoid unless you have permission. So those are some of the don'ts. Here's a very big do. Make sure to interact with every single comment on every one of your posts. The more interaction there is, the more life and reach you'll get out of your post. This doesn't mean to mean that you're parked on Facebook and just living there all day, by the way. It doesn't have to consume you. If you check in, a couple of times a day, just look over your notifications and reply just to those comments. 1 or 2 15-minute check-ins a day really should do it. Even once a day is totally fine. The important thing is just to get to responding to those comments. And if you can, do it in such a way that it creates an ongoing conversation. That kind of back and forth will boost your post naturally. And it'll tell Facebook that the people want to see your stuff. So then Facebook will make sure that they see it. Okay, so we've talked about posting to your personal profile versus the page, but there's a third place you can post online on Facebook, and that is in groups. Sharing in groups can be a powerful marketing tool. It's an easy way to meet others, but the cool thing is that with groups, you're not just meeting random people. These are people who are gathering in specific groups for a specific reason. Maybe they're your readers looking for fiction stories, just like yours. Maybe they're your target audience. Also, you can find podcasters and bloggers who might want to feature you on their site. There's a wealth of opportunity in meeting others in groups. You'll also find people who can help you. They can help you learn how to market books more effectively, or help you connect with a publisher, or simply answer some of those burning questions that Google just can't find the answers to. Groups are also a great place to help others. And really, this should be the first point, because helping and giving really should be your goal when you're going in. You've heard the saying that people don't care what you know until they know that you care. Well, this is true in groups too. Your mission should be to get in there and care for people, sincerely help them, and not with a heart of demand either, where you have these secret strings attached and these secret expectations for them to reciprocate. That's just going to frustrate you. Give freely. Help because you care, not because you want something. And then you'll see genuine connections begin to form. The Tim Grohl quote I quoted earlier, actually, I didn't completely quote it. The full quote is this: marketing is the act of building long-lasting connections with people and then being relentlessly helpful. That's what marketing is, connecting with people and then helping them. So at this point, you're probably wondering what the heck all this being helpful for free has to do with selling books. I hear you. Well, I would challenge you, though, to think about why you wrote that book in the first place. Why did you do that? I would bet money that you did it because you wanted to help someone with something, right? So now if you help those same people that you wanted to help with that same thing that you wanted to help them with, they will experience firsthand your knowledge, your expertise, and your caring heart, and they will trust you. They will want to know you more, and they will want to get more help from you. And that, my friend, is in your book. Just a quick warning before we move away from the group topic about where not to post in groups. So there are groups where promotional posting is not allowed. Read the group rules before posting and make sure that you're operating within the rules so you don't get kicked out. Another place, Facebook Notes, is not a place to post things either. Every word that you work so hard to put in there will be lost. It's not really a feature that's set up for engagement. It's more of a personal journal sort of a setup, and it's not really worth the time or effort. And when looking for groups to post in, try not to be in too many. Keep it under 5 so that you can genuinely interact, under 10. And then stick with groups that are in your target audience or your target peer group as well. Okay, so we've talked about where to post. Now let's talk about how to post online. So we all want to put our best foot forward and look professional and polished and like we've got it going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. The temptation, though, is to only put out that corporate persona and not be ourselves. We have to be ourselves. Now, this has been a major stumbling block for every entrepreneur I've worked with, everyone. The first thing they want to do is share information, just straight up facts and information only, and educate. And that's fine. That has its value, but it's not being yourself. And at first, usually the only photos of themselves they are willing to share are the business headshots, with a gleaming smile, and it's all just so shiny and perfect. And I get it. I've been there too. Here's the thing. People don't connect with corporations, and they don't connect with products. People connect with people, real humans with personality and lifestyles and faces. When you're trying to put yourself out there and trying to drum up interest and sales and grow your reach, you've got to be yourself. Otherwise, you end up with this whole bunch of posts that say, buy my book, and it just turns people off. So this can be kind of tricky. It's kind of a mix of art and science. Basically, think about it as like a third of your communication should have to do with you personally. You can still talk about business and refer to your book, but the book stuff is more of a subtext than the main point. If you're trying to get people to know about your book, it can't all be about, hey, this is our book, here's our link, go buy it. But what you can do is share more of yourself, your process, the behind-the-scenes glimpses, or just a normal human post like taking selfies of you and your family on that kayak trip. So just as a quick example of what that looks like, this is a post I created for a client. In it, she is being personal and real and not selling anything. So let's just read it here. So it says, and it's May, the month we usually get together for Mother's Day. I never appreciated how much she sacrificed for me until I became a mom myself. Funny how that works. With every year, I discover even more of the depth of love a mom has for her children and how desperately she needs grace for when she gets it wrong. Because we all do. Miss you, Mom. So she's being personal and real, and she's not selling anything. There are no links. This is not spam. It's just good old being a human. Now, from a strategic perspective, the reason that I posted this on her behalf is because this post precedes a Mother's Day giveaway. A Mother's Day giveaway that she's about to launch. So it starts the conversation, and it gives the giveaway some context and some added meaning. So then it doesn't just become about the giveaway. It becomes about appreciating moms for real, and it gives the thing some heart. So why don't we look at an author example, right? So this is an excellent example of a post giving people a behind-the-scenes glimpse at the process. People want to know you, the author, the human, and they also want to be in on what you're doing as you're doing it. What's great about this post is that it inspires awe just from the sheer beauty and quality of the illustrations. Look at that. They're gorgeous. Also, it builds anticipation of the upcoming book. And nowhere in this post do they say, buy it here or sign up here. Yet, they remembered to include a link for those who do want to take a step further and find out more. It's actually pretty brilliant. So if you've been online for more than 5 minutes, here's the next tip. You'll notice everyone and their canary is standing behind the method that works. There are hundreds of new methods that get results, and you can 10x your income with these proven strategies. And there are free webinars and 5-day challenges and masterminds and coaching. Perhaps you've traveled through a few sales funnels yourself. And maybe you found yourself, like I have, at the end of a webinar, just panting and wide-eyed, eager to fork over your cash to get the results that they promise. I get it, me too. I love new shiny things, and it seems like there's a new one each week that I get to discover. And so like some of these methods, like maybe you've heard the building your email list is the way, or creating a free webinar funnel is the way to sell books faster, or maybe it's public speaking or Instagram or vendor booth hopping from one event to the next. Whatever the method is, there are loads of them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with any of them. I'm sure many of them work. Here's the thing. I can't do them all. I have to choose one to start with and then follow it through. I have to commit to it for a year or so, just to give myself time to grow in the skill of that method and give the method time to work. Without that commitment, what happens is we end up method hopping, going from one shiny thing to the next, moving fast, working so hard, and accomplishing so little. Oh, trust me, I have been there. It is absolutely aggravating. And I don't want that for you. So at the moment, you're in this social media crash course. That means you're looking at social media as your current method for book marketing. That's great, and it can work well. But I would encourage you to commit yourself to it for the next 6 to 12 months. Commit yourself to learning how it works, learning the art of clever communication, because this takes practice, and learning how to find and connect with people through your social media platform. Remember, like any other method, this isn't magic. It takes work. It works if you work it, as they say. But I know that you've already decided to move forward with social media because you're here. You've made it this far, listening to me talk about it for minutes. So trust me when I say you can do this. Okay, quick thing before I go. I just want to share a couple of free tools with you that I use in my social media marketing every week. Canva is a free online software that allows you to create amazing images, memes, PDFs, Facebook covers, so much. It's awesome. I use it all the time, and I can't even believe that it's free, but it is. Pexels and Unsplash are a great source for free public domain photography that's professional quality. Again, these can be used in your Facebook posts to create image quotes or memes, or simply to accompany your text posts. Zoom is another free online software that allows you to conduct video meetings or screencasts. I'm using Zoom right now to create this video. Fantastic. And your phone. Besides taking videos and photos, there are also loads of apps that can help. I personally use this audio recorder app that, again, is free to take notes while I'm driving and having all kinds of ideas that I can't write down. And I also actually use it to record audio to go with some of my videos. It's my microphone. So anyway, okay, so that's it for this module. We looked at where to post, we looked at how to market, and we even got some free tools that you didn't expect. In the next and final module, we'll look at when to say what you're going to say. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.